Welcome to Dr. Tay E, Leadership and Discernment. Today we are talking about leadership at its core. Not only what you do, but who you are while doing it. Character and strategy. Two forces that shape every decision you make. Leadership is a multifaceted journey, and today we're diving into two essential components that define its success: character and strategy. While many leaders dedicate significant effort to honing their strategic skills, fewer invest the same level of discipline in developing their character. Yet the truth is that while strategy delivers results, it is character that ensures those results endure. For leadership that stands the test of time, both elements must work in harmony. Let's unpack what this means and why it matters. First, let's address the reality of leadership. It's a role that comes with immense pressure, deadlines to meet, expectations to fulfill, and performance targets to hit. In this high pressure environment, strategy often becomes the focal point, and execution is prioritized above all else. However, this is precisely when character is put to the test. And here's the thing: character isn't tested in grand public moments. It's tested in the quiet, private decisions you make when no one is watching. The real question for leaders isn't just, can you deliver results? It's, how do you deliver them? Over time, the how becomes your reputation, shaping how others perceive you as a leader. Leadership, therefore, isn't just about achieving outcomes, it's about the principles and integrity that guide you along the way. So, what exactly is character in the context of leadership? It's important to clarify what it's not. Character isn't about personality, charisma, or image. It's not about how likable or magnetic you are. Instead, character is about alignment. It's the consistency between what you believe, what you say, and what you do. When these three elements are in harmony, character emerges. This alignment becomes especially critical in challenging situations. When the pressure is high, when you don't have all the information, or when the easier path isn't the right one. It's in these moments that character truly reveals itself. Four key traits define strong character in leadership: integrity, accountability, courage, and humility. These aren't abstract ideas, they are actionable decisions that leaders make every day. Integrity, for example, means staying true to your values even when it's inconvenient or costly. It's about being honest and ethical, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Accountability involves taking ownership of your actions and decisions, including your mistakes. It's about being transparent and responsible, even when it's uncomfortable. Courage is the willingness to make tough decisions, especially when they aren't popular or when they involve risk. Finally, humility is about recognizing that leadership isn't about you, it's about the people you serve. It's about being open to feedback, admitting when you're wrong, and valuing the contributions of others. Now, let's explore what happens when strategy operates without character. At first glance, it might seem like you can still achieve success. After all, strategy is about planning and execution, and those are critical to delivering results. However, without character to ground it, strategy creates significant risks. You might achieve short term wins, but long term damage begins to accumulate. Trust within the organization starts to erode. The culture weakens. People become disengaged. In fact, many organizations don't fail because of poor planning, they fail because of compromised leadership. When people lose trust in their leaders, even the most well crafted strategies lose their effectiveness. For example, a leader who prioritizes hitting quarterly targets at the expense of ethical practices might achieve those targets in the short term. But over time, this approach can lead to a toxic work environment, high employee turnover, and even reputational damage. On the other hand, character has the power to guide and enhance strategy. Strong leaders ensure that their strategies are aligned with their values. They ask themselves critical questions. Does this decision reflect who we are as an organization? Does it build trust with our team, stakeholders, and customers? Will it sustain performance over time? By addressing these questions, leaders can clarify their priorities, stabilize their decision making process, and build credibility. When character leads, strategy becomes more consistent and effective. For instance, a leader who values transparency might implement open communication policies that foster trust and collaboration within the team. This alignment between values and actions not only strengthens the strategy, but also reinforces the leader's credibility and the organization's culture. How can you apply these principles in your own leadership journey? Start by defining your values clearly. Don't just think about them, write them down. Treat them as a framework for your decision making process. When faced with a tough choice, refer back to your values and let them guide you. Next, align your decisions with these values. Make it a point to ensure that your pursuit of results never comes at the expense of your principles. Communication is another critical area. Speak with clarity and address issues directly, even when the conversation is difficult or uncomfortable. Consistency is also key. Remember that your behavior sets the standard for your team. If you want your team to act with integrity, accountability, courage, and humility, you need to model those traits yourself. Finally, take the time to evaluate the impact of your leadership. Don't just look at the results, examine how those results were achieved. Did the process align with your values? Did it build trust and credibility within your team? In conclusion, character and strategy are not separate entities, they are two sides of the same coin. Strategy propels an organization forward, while character keeps it grounded. To lead effectively, you must integrate both into your leadership approach. By doing so, you'll not only achieve results, but also ensure that those results are sustainable and meaningful. Leadership isn't just about what you accomplish, it's about the legacy you leave behind. When you lead with both character and strategy, you create a foundation for lasting success for yourself, your team, and your organization. Your team and your organization.